All right, moving on to other news. Moving on to other news. At least three major publishers are ready to delay games just to avoid GTA 6. Hey, respect the player, bro. Respect the player. Respect the player. I already told y'all that this needs to happen. Whenever GTA 6 announces that date, just get out the way. Just get out the way. You know, it's okay. It's okay to get out the way. We just need a date. Once that happens, hey man, just whatever date that they set, we'll move out the way. My best bet for y'all, just bring the game out before GTA 6. Cause once this game comes out, it's game over. It's game over. Um, so let's see. According to Christopher Dring of the recently launched outlet The Game Business, three major video game publishers are ready to delay their games to avoid GTA 6. Dring said that the boss of one of the world's biggest game publishers told him Rockstar games always suck a lot of money, pause, and more importantly, time out of the market. We don't want to be anywhere near that. We are working up multiple plans for our titles. Hey man, like I said, you gotta respect it. You gotta respect it. So this past weekend at GDC in San Francisco, insider gamer Tom Henderson was told by a few developers that they're waiting to see what GTA 6 does. Back in December, Bloomberg Jason Schreier reported that competing publishers are waiting as long as possible to commit to their release date. Again, smart. I'm not mad at it. Launch of GTA 6 tentatively scheduled for October 2025. Reportedly isn't just scaring off major new releases. According to Dring, two developers of top 10 live service games are not planning any significant update. Dang, so people who already have their games out and are planning major updates are also saying, forget that, bro. So that's interesting. So according to said, they're not planning any significant update during the GTA 6 launch window. One studio boss reportedly said that they would nudge their releases ahead or backwards 3 weeks just to avoid GTA 6. The studio heads that spoke to Dream spoke of other potential issues like a crowded schedule of other games trying to avoid GTA 6, which also might happen, you know, so it might end up becoming like a ripple effect, like either way, either before or after GTA 6, if everybody just moves out the way. So we'll see, you know, what ends up happening. But those problems seem preferable. They're trying to compete with a potentially industry-altering release. However, as one industry consultant noted at GDC, waiting on GTA 6 only for it to delay could tank those developers. Yeah, so it is a risk that you have to take. It is a risk that you have to take because, again, Rockstar is probably going to wait until the last possible minute before they announce the release date. I'm still banking on it coming out in 2025, but again, you know, it could very well be delayed again. So we'll see. We'll see. But again, this is smart, bro. Nobody wants to compete with this game. People have been waiting for it for over 14 years now, man. It's here, bro. It's here. Whenever it gets here, yeah, just move out the way. Just move out the way. GTA is holding the game industry hostage. I know, right? What up, Liquid? At least 6 months in needed. Dang, he said at least 6 months. I don't think you need that long. You don't need that long now, but we'll see. We'll see. All right, so quick news there. And then Sony, more Sony news, man. We're still talking about those forgotten titles that people allegedly want to see. So this article says Killzone remaster trilogy would be successful, says a series composer. So let's read this. Could a Killzone remaster trilogy have success in the current era of gaming? I think it would. I don't know about huge success, but I think people would still play it because people like the remaster. You know, that's the type of meta that we're in now, which is a whole bunch of remasters. So I think there would be an audience that would enjoy Killzone if it did come back. So the series composer Joris Daman says that could be the case. Killzone is one of the more beloved first-party franchises from PlayStation, but since 2014's Killzone Shadowfall, the series has laid dormant as developer Guerrilla Games has since put full focus onto the Horizon franchise. In a recent interview with Video Gamer, Damon talked about about the franchise and bringing it to a new generation of players. He says, and I quote, "I know that there have been petitions for it. I think it's risky because I can't speak for Guerrilla or anything. I don't know if it will ever happen." I hope that it will, because I think it is quite an iconic franchise. I mean, he does have a bias. I mean, you were the art, the music composer or score composer. But also I think it kind of has to take into account the kind of sensitivities and the shift in, I guess, what people want, because it is quite bleak in some ways. When asked about if that meant a new Killzone game or a remaster, Demond believes a remaster will perform better. I tend to agree as well. Even though personally I wouldn't want to see a remaster. I'm like, if y'all gonna make another Killzone, just make another one. Don't remaster it. But that's just me. I think a remaster one will be successful. I don't know if a new game will be as much. I don't know if people have moved on from it or and want something. I don't know. Sometimes I get the sense that people want something a bit more casual, a bit more quick. So again, short article, but I thought that one was interesting. I don't know how many people play Killzone in the chat, but I think it would have some mild success. I think it would have some mild success if a remaster did come. So we'll see. All right. WB news. I feel like every time we talk about WB and Ubisoft, it's always something negative. But I'm big hating on WB. So Monolith's Nemesis system, we talked about this before. This article says that the Nemesis system was created to stop WB Games losing money, and now the studio is closed. I just reading that, I'm like, what? What do y'all mean it was created to stop WB Games from losing money? Because y'all lost a lot of money still, because y'all didn't come out with any more games that utilize the system. What are you talking about? So let's read this article. It said the Nemesis system was introduced in 2014. Middle-earth Shadow of Mordor was a phenomenal thing. It gave players a living, breathing force to fight, one that would learn how you played and kept coming back for more, adapted to your tactics, and provided a deeper challenge time after time. It was lasting in 2017, Shadow of War, and following the closure of Monolith last month, it seemed unlikely that we'll see it again for a very long time. In a recent interview, a former VP of WB Games explained exactly why the Nemesis system was created in the first place, but the real reason reveals a gaping flaw in the plan all these years later. So Laura Fryer, a former VP of WB Games, who oversaw studios including Monolith, recently went on record talking about her time at the company. She oversaw Monolith's operation since 2008, so she was around during the Nemesis system. She said the reason it was created is a little convoluted, but it all comes down to money. I mean, at the end of the day, yeah, we know it comes down to money, but I want to hear exactly what's going on here. WB Games identified a financial flaw in the industry in the form of secondhand game sales. Okay, so secondhand, I'm pretty sure we're going to explain it here. Players will buy a game once and then sell it back to a store as a trade-in. So, aka, you sell your game to GameStop, and then they'll give you $5 for it, and then they'll turn around and resell it for 50. Like if it's a brand new game, they'll resell it for $45 or $50 as a used game, and so they end up getting all the profit, and WB doesn't see any more of that money. They only saw the original $60 or $70 that you would see when you initially bought the game, when the first person bought the game. But once it gets traded in, man, that's all GameStop or whatever your perspective place that you sold it at. So and then it can go on and on and on until it's worth pennies, really. So most likely WB Games was concerned with seeing no value on successful sales and only getting paid for the first copy sold. The solution: make people play for longer and have more fun so that they didn't sell their game at all. Okay. All right. So that's making sense. So they were trying to find a way to keep you playing the game for longer. So so that explains why the Nemesis system would come here. Okay. So with Shadow of Mordor, we face the same problem. How do we create a single player game that's so compelling that people keep the disc in the library forever? We knew Monolith's game engine wasn't yet capable of having a fully open world like GTA, and this team wasn't interested in going the multiplayer route, but we still had to solve for the constraint. And this thinking is what led to the Nemesis system. Thank you, Tropical. What up, DCG? Arguably one of the most creative and coolest game features in recent memory. Okay. Fryer stressed that secondhand game sales were a disaster for developers who are missing out on the millions of dollars generated by that particular market. Now we don't see that as much. That's why GameStop has been tanking, because physical games are becoming, less and less prevalent here. So you can't sell, or technically can't sell, a digital game. You can only still sell physical games, really, in a traditional method. So the Nemesis system made players want to hold on to their game for a little longer because it was so unpredictable and it evolved with the gamer. Sadly, the Nemesis system didn't pan out as intended. It was due to appear in the Wonder Woman game, which you talked about a million times before it got shuttered this year. It's now under lock and key in WB games for another decade. So unless it's used for in a Batman game or something, it's unlikely you'll never see it again. Which, I mean, you can put that in the Batman game. I just want the Nemesis system in the game. I've said this a million times already. I just want to see the Nemesis system again. I do not care which game that comes out. Just use the damn system. It's been a long time since we've seen it, since 2017. So it's been, at this point, 8 years. So just use the damn Nemesis system. Like, I was gonna play the Wonder Woman game just for that, if it ever came out. I don't even really like Wonder Woman, but Wonder Woman game with the Nemesis system, I think that probably would have been fire. So we'll see. I don't have any hope that they're ever going to use it again, but they really need to, because this is so dumb. That they have a patent on this system until 2031, I believe, that we saw. So it's just disheartening, bro. It's disheartening. WB sucks. WB sucks, bro. More news. Several builds of unreleased games are leaking, including Riot Games 2XKO. So, so for the Steves and the Nomads in the chats, y'all better be looking at this. Maybe I'll get y'all unreleased build. I know Steve was hurting so much that he started playing Mortal Kombat 1 again. He's hurt. I guess Marvel Rivals is making him upset. So this man is like, I don't know what else to play. This man playing freaking Mortal Kombat 1. Did I ever get my Kazan code? No, I did not, Siki. I did not see people playing it. I'm just gonna wait until 27 when it comes out. So I don't know, man. Yeah, I don't know. So several builds of unreleased games have been uploaded to an undisclosed data mining Discord server, including Riot Games 2XKO. So far, Insider Gaming have been able to verify the early builds of the following games have been uploaded: Killing Floor 3, 2XKO, Player Unknown Prologue, go way back, Embark Studios Arc Raiders, and an early build of Delta Force Hawk Ops. According to one source that's in the server, uploads of the game builds are primarily used for data mining purposes, but some games with less protection will likely get leaked online. Either way, it looks like all these games will have new bits of information leaked about them in the near future. So, man, the data mining, I'm really never a fan of data mining, to be honest. Never a fan of data mining. Because people end up just using it just to ruin a lot of things about the game. Like, at the end of the day, I want to be surprised about some of the things that are in these games. I don't want to just get everything spoiled for me, and that's what I feel like. I feel like data mining is just spoiling the game. I don't care how much I like the game. Yeah, it may bring a little bit of excitement if I see something about one of my favorite games and see what's coming up in the future. But at the end of the day, again, I just feel like it's spoiling. Other people may feel different, but that's just how I feel. It's currently unclear on where all these builds originated, but according to the sources, 2XKO, Player Unknown Prologue, go way back, and Arc Raiders have been recently been in a wider pool of play testing. Yeah, I have been seeing more play testing with 2XKO, but there's still really no more news about that. But I just want to pull that up, for the fighting game people of the world, because obviously 2XKO is probably the biggest game in this list here. So very interesting that some leaked builds are out. And finally, very quick news: Napster. For all y'all youngins, back in my day, we used Napster to get our music libraries. They just sold for $207 million. Who the hell bought Napster? They shut down. They've been shut down for 20 years. What is going on here? So Napster has been sold for $207 million to a 3D technology company more than 20 years after it closed. You would see Rhapsody. Look at you, Melody. Trying to be different. Actually, I never used Napster. I never used Napster. I was a Rhapsody person as well. Rhapsody and LimeWire. LimeWire was really my shit, but Rhapsody I use it a little bit. Um, so let's see. Let's see what else this article say. In the late 1900s, Napster one of the most popular ways for people to download songs without having to pay a dime before its inevitable closure in 2001 due to legal battles. The brand itself never died, but many people across the internet forgot about its existence over the last quarter century until today, March 25th. That is when it was revealed that Napster had been purchased for $207 million. So the 3D technology company is called Infinite Reality. They're looking to create virtual 3D spaces that allow music fans to enjoy concerts or listening parties together. Okay. All right. The company also wants to use it as a way for musicians to sell physical and virtual merchandise. Okay. When we think about clients who have audiences, influencers, creators, I think it's very important that they have a connected space that's around music and musical communities. We just don't see anybody in the streaming space creating spaces for music. I think there's no better name than Napster to disrupt. So they want to revive a dying company that has been unusable for 20 years. They basically just paid for the name. According to the report, that's crazy though. Like, have y'all heard of this company before? Infinite Reality. If you got $207 million just to throw away for the name, I mean, you making some money. Hold on. According to the report, Napster still owns the licenses to stream. Really? Y'all do? Okay, never mind. I'll take that back then. They didn't just pay for the name. They still own the licenses to stream millions of tracks? How? That's what I'm wondering. Why? How? What? I need more information. How do they still own licenses for streaming music? Is it recent or did it just stop in 01? Because I couldn't imagine the service that's not working anymore still owning those licenses. Like, are they just infinite licenses? They just own them forever? Did they just buy them forever? Like, I don't know how that works. That's very weird. But okay, man. Hey, whatever, man. Y'all do y'all. I guess I'll be looking to see like what they end up doing. But yeah, that's the news, man. Napster is back, and this Infinite Reality company is going to be using the Napster name and I guess those licenses that they still have, and they're gonna create spaces for influencers to listen to music and stuff. So